What we're going to do in this video is we're going to have a little talk about packs. Now, if you remember, it's getting a little bit cool, so I'm just going to put my hood up. I'm just going to do that up. It's quite chilly today. If you remember, I got an HMG Windrider, which was about 1.2 to 1.3 kilograms, and I got a ZPacks Arc Haul, which is about 800-900 grams. The ZPacks Arc Haul is never 70 kilograms, is never 70 litres. It's for sure nearer the 55-60 mark internally, and the HMG Windrider 70 certainly is 70 litres, but the shoulder straps are really uncomfortable. And someone posted a comment on a video recently, why don't I get a proper pack? So I have a proper pack. This is the Quest. This is the GoLite Quest. If you've been watching my videos for a very long time, then you will even remember this pack. I've used this pack several times. I tended to only use it when I was hauling a Hillyberg or something like that. But I weighed this pack, and this pack is 1.5 kilograms. 1.5 kilograms for a 70 litre pack. That is lighter than the Gregory 58, Paragon 58. It's marginally heavier than the HMG Windrider 70, which is about 1.2, 1.3. So it's maybe 250 grams heavier than the Windrider, but it's got much nicer, beefier, more comfortable straps on it. It's even got, amazingly, when you actually look at it, it's even got a little bit of a shape back to it, which I'd never noticed until now. You've got a nice soft lumbar bit down here, which is quite comfortable. You've got decent hip things. You've got included hip pockets, not things where you have to pay extra for. This GoLite Quest, for those of you that have been doing camping for a long time, GoLite went out of business, I think like 10 years ago. So you can't even get this pack now. These packs are probably, you know, would only be available on, you know, eBay or something. But I bought this from GoLite, like I said, probably 10 years ago or something like that. You get 2 side pockets, although I will say the side pockets do lack some, but unlike Osprey side pockets, which I've knocked a few times, when it's done up fully, there's still flexibility to get stuff in there. So, you know, they've actually made decent, proper side pockets. I would have preferred that they were a little bit deeper, to be fair. You get a webbing strap there. You get a webbing strap there. So you get 2 webbing straps on that side, which are also compression straps. You get one that side and another one that side. So you've got straps on the side where you can put things in. You get ice axe loops, one down there and then one up there where you could put your ice axe through. Not quite sure how you would tighten that, so I'm not sure that you can actually tighten that, but you know, so maybe that's more for walking poles or something, but you've got loops nonetheless. I think that would hold, you'd hold an ice axe in there. You get a strap that comes over the top that fits. You of course get a traditional draw cord top. So with this you can fill it to the top, draw cord it, and even if you can't quite do it up, you then get a lid that would go over the top to cover it. You get a pocket in the top to put stuff in. The only thing that I added, because it doesn't have, I added my MLD water bottle holders to it, and they work quite well. I would prefer that I could put them a little bit lower, but they work there fine. You obviously get a handle for holding it. You do get two loops on the bottom and these little grippy things here where you could in theory get some bungee cord, put bungee cord there and there with a locky thing, so you could strap something to the bottom if you wanted to, like a sit mat or something like that. You could in theory put bungee cord through here and here, not very low down and not very high up, but you could put bungee cord through there as well. So, you know, there is places to put bungee cord at this level, and at that level as a minimum. You're not going to get it lower, but that is a good height length. You know, if you remember on the Bonfus, the bungee cord was only, I believe, that far apart, which is this bit here, so that's the same. But you could put bungee cord if you wanted to up here as well, which, you know, is another, I don't know, 3 inches or so higher up there. On this one you don't get the mesh front pocket, but you do get a really big spacious front pocket where you can put your tent in there if it's not too big. Ground sheet, this fitted in there with the ground sheet, easily went in there. I got the solar panels down in there, so you know, no problem fitting stuff in there. I carried this into camp. It was about 16.5 kilograms all in, and whilst obviously I haven't worn it very much, so I can't recently, I've used it quite a lot I've used it over the years. I don't know about a lot, but I've used it over the years when I've had to carry a Hillyberg. And yes, obviously those weights are heavy, but it is certainly more comfortable than the HMG, and it's just a couple of 100-ish grams heavier. I don't think these zips open brilliantly, and the pockets aren't huge, but they're decent enough. You know, so you've got a pack that was made 10 years ago, that is now, the company's gone, that is about 1.5 kilograms. And things just haven't really improved in this big category in 10 years. Like I said, the Arc Haul, the ZPacks Arc Haul, you had fiddly things down here which would be impossible to use in the cold. You had straps on the side that weren't very, you know, adjustable. You know, those cords, they were basically the same size as this. You wouldn't get much underneath them. You know, these straps are decent. You'd get something under there. You obviously get, you know, straps here, you know, for adjusting, you know, the back system and everything. It's not one of those adjustable back systems. This is a large. I went for large. I like a large back system. Yeah, you know, it's just, I don't know, you know, 1.5 kilograms, and, you know, I've spent all that money on an HMG to save 300 grams, 200 grams, and it's very uncomfortable with a heavier load compared to this. The ZPacks isn't as big as this. Admittedly, it's almost half the weight, not quite. It's maybe 50-60% lighter, but it's unusable in the cold. I reckon it would be really difficult in the cold. It's not as big as this, despite being sold as 70 litres. And yet a pack here that I've had for 10 years really is better than both of those packs. It's marginally heavier, as I say. But, you know, in this size of pack, things, well, they haven't really gone forward, have they? They've gone sideways. I don't know about backwards, but I don't know. You know, I just thought I would just, I just wanted to bring this pack. I haven't used it for years. It's a bit silly, really, because I kind of only saw this as my Hillyberg hauler. But really, this is a very nice, large backpack that the only additions that I would probably add to it would be, you know, bungee cord here and there, just for strapping things on, because I like adding things on. But you know, you almost get away without, because you can certainly, you know, your sleep mats can go on that side, can go on that side, bit of bungee on the bottom maybe for loops that are already attached and included. You've got ice axe loops, you've got compression straps, you've got top compression straps. You could probably put stuff on the top up here, secure it down with that, whack the lid over and have that secure. And to that one person who actually turned out to be very friendly in the end. We had a little bit, didn't we? But look, and they were doing this just like MLD 10 years ago, and they don't even bloody do that now. You know, they put this one on a stupid strap now that wobbles all over the place like an old man's dick. You know, one-handed, obviously I'm holding it, but one-handed in. And they were doing that 10 years ago. And MLD, thankfully, still do that same system. For the love of God, Ron, don't change from this. And Ron, don't put stupid cord on. You know, don't follow the trend of these other newfangled companies that just fuck everything up when, you know, when they were making decent, pretty decent, very decent, light enough packs donkeys years ago, and they're trying to get lighter and lighter, and they're ruining the packs. You know, obviously for a smaller pack than my MLD Exodus or something like that, you know, easily, you know, is my go-to pack for a smaller pack. But for a big load hauler, it doesn't really get much better than this. You know, it's a flexible, there's obviously some sort of flexible, but you know, that's flexing. It's like an Arc Haul before the bloody Arc Haul was an Arc Haul, because it's got an arc. It flexes. You know, it flexes with the old bod. It's funny, sometimes we've got stuff maybe in the cupboard that is probably far superior to some of the stuff that they're bringing out now. Anyway, that's just my little moan on new packs. You know, obviously I'll still use the others for the while. I might end up selling them, but hopefully not. But yeah, so GoLite. What a shame they went bust. They were sort of, you know, along with MLD back in the day, were leading the pack, as it were. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. We will see you in the next video. I'm gonna have another cup of tea, warm my hands up. It's getting a bit chilly. It's coming up to 4. Another hour and a half of daylight, and then the sun will set.